So, you can just chill there, Mr. Hannibal. Oh, we captured a worker. I didn't even notice. So we're going to have some nice lumber mills pretty soon. But for now, I could just have it chop this out. Wouldn't be too bad. Oh, that's right. One of Persia's awesome bonuses is that you immediately, when you capture a city, it immediately comes under your control. So you do not need to have the your opponent cede the city. So that's really awesome. So it's immediately fully under our control, which means it can grow, it can do whatever. It can build districts, whatever I want it to do, without any impediment. I think I'm just going to chop this out, because I'm going to actually, I know I said I was going to spam settlers, but I'm actually going to fall back on my my other philosophy, which is that it's more important to improve the cities you already have than it is to expand. At a baseline level, just improve the terrain first. Then you can keep expanding. You don't need to have districts first. Let's see. Amenities are pretty crap here. Entertainment. Of course, that's just war weariness, which will go away sooner rather than later. Once we finish this war, which shouldn't take all that long. Anyway. What I want it to do is grow, which it's not growing anytime soon, because all this terrain isn't even improved. So it's a bit frustrating. There's not a whole lot of great options. I think I'm going to have it build builders as soon as I swap that policy in, which will be next turn. But for just one turn, might as well throw up an amphitheater, even though because yes, even though I don't really need it. There's nothing wrong with extra culture if you can get it. And it already has a theater district, which wasn't my choice, but that's what's there, so I might as well take advantage of it. I'm going to have this guy heal up before he does anything else stupid, like charging into barb camps while on auto explore. So I seem to have accidentally built another Immortal, which is too bad. Well, it's nice. It's fine. You can never really have too many. It's not about having too many units. It's about having, it's about like, hey, I don't really need more. Might as well spend my production on something else. I'm just going to throw up a mine here. Ooh, Alcazar's. Oh yeah, Paradisa. I don't know. Oh, wait a minute. I'm trying to remember. It gets a bonus for being next to holy sites and city centers. So it actually would be a pretty nice spot for it, Paradisa. Screw it, let's be wild. I mean, I don't know. I kind of just want to mine. But, like, that's the kind of the weird thing about unique improvements for every civ, really. Did any of these units get shot at? I don't think so. Yeah, the AI is weird sometimes. Sometimes they just straight up won't bombard you. You know, I'm not complaining, but it's pretty unrealistic, pretty kind of stupid, honestly. So we got our gold. We're pretty short on money, which kind of sucks. But we can remedy that fairly soon. So I feel like most great people points are kind of like, hey, I don't have any urgent needs. Might as well run, you know, Strategos or Inspiration. But right now I have this urgent need to have limes, so I'm just going to swap that out. It's not a big deal. I'd rather have the maintenance, because currently I'm spending -10, or I'm sorry, -6, and I would be spending -12 otherwise. I believe that's how that works out. Maybe even more, because I think a spearman is 1. Yeah, so maybe plus 13. Anyway, builder time, baby. I could even have these cities build builders, like this one. Because, it's kind of a tough call. So this will grow, this will be the production. I'm going to buy this. This city is a little sad. So we'll have it work these two tiles. And the production will be relatively quick. It'll be maybe 10 turns. And so yeah, monument is obviously a good way to expand your borders, but population gives culture too. So if you can use a builder or something, or a trader, to rapidly grow the city, that's as good as getting a monument in terms of jump starting that border growth, which is important to get you the tiles you want to work and the tiles you want to put your districts on. Alright, so nothing else is particularly urgent here. Recorded history is nice. Civil service is really good. I actually kind of like feudalism more. I'm going to put one turn into this so I can queue up a switch whenever I need it. Oh, I also actually, excuse me, I need some walls. I might hold off on that actually. Just because I don't really want to build more than one set of walls. Oh no, here we go. There we go. Like I'm kind of torn because I only want one set of walls because like I'm not worried about being invaded by anybody, really. Germany's not going to invade me. Probably I might go to war with them eventually. But in any case, I only really want one set of walls so I can get the boosts. That's all I'm really looking for right now. And so I want to just whip them up as fast as I can. So I'm going to do that right here. Because as I said, I was kind of just idly building a amphitheater. In fact, oh, my religion is Confucianism. I would love to spread Confucianism in my cities because that lets me buy, that gives me Jesuits. So I'd actually have a reason to spend this faith. That's super awesome. That I am interested in, much more than Catholicism. So perhaps I'll actually spend my faith getting some missionaries to spread throughout my own lands, even though I didn't found the religion, because Jesuits is super awesome. In fact, I'm going to use it right now. There we go. Jesuits is one of the best religious beliefs. Alright, so we have this little dude. I would really like a road, so I'm going to send this trader all the way out to Gordian. That way I can get a road through all these cities in one swoop, basically. Spearman, I just want him to chill while the walls are still up because I don't want him to be bombarded. So these two cities are so close that I don't want to swap out for builders. I just want them to finish. And I do really want this trader because traders are very important. And you know what I forgot that I made a very loud point on was swapping in the diplomacy policy. So that was my bad. The principle, the strategy behind it obviously still applies. I just I effed up and I didn't actually do it. So it is what it is. Do I still have my movement? I do. There's not a real need to surround this city just yet. I mean, it'll stop the health from declining, from regaining, but that's not super urgent. I mean, I should have just moved this guy over. I was just rushing, and because this thing has 5 movement, I might as well have crossed a river and shot to set up the siege. But normally that doesn't happen, and you don't really have to worry about surrounding the city until the walls are down. That's actually a really important strategy for most warfare. And I made a mistake right there. And it is what it is. So where do you want to go now? We only have one charge left. I believe, so it gets a bonus for, let's see, 2 and 2. So this improvement is interesting. Theater squares, commercial hubs, city centers, and holy sites. +2 appeal. Man, I'm curious about actually attempting a... Oh, I built the wrong thing. Hey, that's pretty cool, though. I've never actually seen one. Forts tend to be more useful in multiplayer, where forgive me. Multiplayer where like warfare is more nuanced. Alcazar, I'm not quite certain what that is in real life. Granada, forgive my ignorance. I don't know where Granada is. I was trying to think if I knew. I feel like I've heard of Granada. I couldn't place it for you. Anyway, I didn't mean to do that. So we're going to replace that as soon as we can. Take the decisive. Take the gold. Thank you very much. Let's do a very nice internal trade route. I kind of like this one that... I mean, this is 4 food. And this is only 1 food, but it's 2 production. So I'm kind of torn. Because production is ultimately much more important than food. This city has plenty of food. It's all flat grassland. There's plenty of food here. And there's the citrus, so I'm just going to screw it. Yeah, it'd be nice if it grew a little faster, but ultimately, it's whatever. Alright, I'm not going to make the mistake again. I'm going to leave this queued up. I've been making, I mean, I feel like everybody makes those silly mistakes, especially when it comes to swapping out your cards and queuing up your text. Did I lose a unit? That's bad. Oh, here we go. Things got a little spicy. So what's going to happen in single player is, especially earlier the game is the AI has a big tech advantage. So you're going to find yourself like sieging, and you're going to run into this problem where all of a sudden you're fighting units that are like an era ahead of you. So yes, my Immortals are powerful classical era units, but we are currently fighting into crossbowmen, which is not fun. So I'm actually going to go ahead and use that swap right now. Because what I want to do is I want to start pumping out replacement Immortals. Because I just want to make sure everything goes the way I intend it to go. So we have lost our boosts. Which is, I mean, our movement boost, I should say, which is unfortunate. That's okay. So yes, the crossbowmen did manage to kill one of our units, which is a shame. But at least there's only one. And we should be okay now. Still, I really don't want to leave anything to chance. So I'm just going to go ahead and commit myself to trashing the rest of this guy's cities. Education is far less urgent than it used to be in Civ 5. Great scientists. So we are 42 turns, so we're nowhere near. Ooh, Galileo is so good. Oh well, so I'm just going to hard tech that and not wait for the boost. You can't get every boost, that's just a fact. As much as we would like to. I think I'm going to go to Tarsus down here because it's about to get a granary. Which means it's going to have enough housing to take advantage of it. And I want a road here because that'll help me keep it safe. And yeah, let's just start throwing down improvements. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna try spamming those Persian improvements and see how where that gets me. Maybe I don't even need monuments if I build those, because I'm always kind of looking for a way to not to like fill a need and not overdo it. I don't need to invest too much in culture. Here's a really important rule of thumb. You want your culture and your science to be in a 3-to-2 ratio. So right now, I have more culture than I need relative to my science. Why is that? Well, that has to do with the cost of techs. So, medieval era, right after the medieval era, you see, the techs cost on quick speed 201 science. Right after the medieval era, the civics cost 184 and 134. So yeah, 184 is not 2/3 of of 200. But the thing is, there are fewer civics. So ultimately, if you add up the entire science requirement of the entire medieval era compared to the culture requirement of the medieval era, let me just make sure I'm doing my math correctly. The total cost is a 3-to-2 ratio. Because although the medieval era is a little thicker than the other ones, the medieval era actually has 7. So if you most of the eras have fewer civics. Renaissance has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But anyway, you do want to, and this has a heck of a lot of text here. Medieval has a slightly fewer text. I'm not sure if the ratio is perfect for each era, but trust me, generally speaking, it's a 3-to-2 ratio because the civics cost less culture than the texts do cost science, and there are fewer civics than texts. And it approximately comes out to a 3-to-2. And the reason it's 3-to-2, I believe, is because when your city grows one population, you gain 2/3 of a science and 1/3 of a culture. So your base, like your population-based progression, culture and science, is a 3-to-2 ratio or a 2-to-3 ratio, as I said it. And so you want to keep these at a 3-to-2 ratio. So in this case, I have slightly less science than I want compared to my culture. So I don't need this monument at all for my progression. I just wanted it for border growth. So what really this means is, hey, I need to build some campuses. And you might be saying, hey, I don't really care about this ratio. Why do I care about this ratio, right? Why do I care about this ratio? Like, I want better military. I want science. I just want science. All science, all day, baby. I want to rush. I want to rush like cavalry, baby. I just want to rush cavalry. Why don't I just build science? Screw culture. Well, the reason being, in Civ 6, compared to past Civs, the boosts matter. The boosts are half your progression. 50% at every tech isn't this number. It doesn't come from this. It comes from doing the boost. And the thing is, the boosts from each tree play into one another. Basically, there's 3 things that play into one another when it comes to the boosts. There's science, the text, like what text you have, what civics you have, and how much production you have, and how much you're able to put to use the actual things that you have researched. For example, recorded history. I want that boost for my civic. It requires me to have writing, which obviously you get fairly early, but also have enough production to have built 2 campuses. Feudalism, which is a powerful military tech, requires me to have, stirrups, which is a powerful military tech, requires me to maximize the speed at which I get it to have feudalism, which is a cultural investment. The entire tree is designed to play into each other. Banking requires guilds. you know, neighborhoods, etc. Build a wonder, which requires you might use the policy. You might use uh, forgive me. You might use the policy. You might use you might get a civic wonder. Extract an artifact. Complete a research agreement. Build privateers. Build a national park. These are all civics. Have a government with 8 policy slots. Have a government with 6 policy slots. Etc. etc. You can go on. You can do the reverse in the civics tree. And it's also super important to invest in production. Because let's say I want to beeline a tech. Okay, I want to beeline bombards. First of all, yes, if I spam campuses, I'll get to this tech faster. But A, I want to have enough production and gold to actually use these things when I get there. And B, I need production in order to get the boost to get me there. I need to have enough production to fit crossbowmen into my builds, into my progression, so that I can rapidly so that I can actually build crossbowmen and get myself the boost, so that I can actually build an armory, so that I can and I want to have enough culture so that I have feudalism. So basically, like, beelining anything comes with a cost, and playing balanced is the best way to have a overall powerful empire. I mean, you can found your first city and click on cartography, and it's 3 techs away, and frigates are 4 techs. But like, you are shooting yourself in the foot by not like improving. In that case, you're not improving your terrain. You're not like getting canvases. You're not doing anything. That's a terrible idea. But at the same time, maybe if you get a few techs and beeline it, you can have this incredibly godly unit very rapidly, and you can take someone by surprise. Maybe it pays off. But there's always a massive cost towards rushing anything in this game. Playing balanced is really important. Okay, I don't want shipbuilding. What the hell was I doing? Alright, I'm about to get engineering, which is good. Might as well grab education. Don't really need anything else. Pikemen or whatever, they're okay. They're situational. Certainly not mandatory. So I just finished my civic, so I wanted might as well swap this out now, and I'll just finish the walls without the boost, which is a bummer, but it's more important that I get my troops out, because I really do not want to take off conscription. Conscription is, I'm sorry, yeah, conscription. That's funny, right there I had sort of I was thinking of Age of Empires 2, if any of you have played that game. Conscription was the name of a tech in Age of Empires 2 that boosted your production of boosted your unit production. So I was like, wait a minute, conscription? Doesn't that boost unit production? But no, of course, this is not Age of Empires. Basically, it's a really good idea just to spam builders after you settle your cities, because fucking my god. Oh, I did it again. So everybody makes these little mistakes. I seem to be making a lot more little mistakes than usual. Mostly because I keep talking. Hopefully you can forgive me for that. What I should have done is swap in the envoy policy. But of course I didn't. And in any case, I seem to have... It wouldn't make that much difference, because I apparently did a quest for Mohenjo-Daro anyway, which is actually kind of bad because I wanted the extra envoy. But anyway, because I did this, I'm just going to go ahead and buff my campuses. I'm going to save this one because I do want the La Venta boost. sooner or eventually, which I should have gotten like 2 civics ago, but I was too stupid, or I was too distracted to properly take advantage of that. How soon to walls? 4 turns? Ay. Might have you go chop out this. Maybe you'll get there in time to speed up by 1 turn, because as soon as I get machinery, I can build lumber mills, which are really, really important, especially in grassland. Because in grassland, you tend to get a lot of forest, but you have just a pathetic amount of hills and production compared to plains. I mean, the hills don't matter, but you have so little production because you have food instead, which is much, much weaker than production. So you really want to get those river water mills up and running. Let's go ahead and go past the guard. All right, let's keep at it. So I think we're not seeing too many signs of resistance here. Sure, I'll take your money. So the problem then becomes we're going to run into sort of an interesting problem. There's a funny thing about taking cities in Civ. Depends how fast we kill Alexander, but my Immortals will become obsolete, right? I mean, that's okay. I can upgrade them. I can get, whatever it is, musketmen, I think. Sooner or later. That's fine. And I can get some art crossbowmen to fill out my ranged corps. But the thing is, crossbowmen, if my Immortals are too weak to take cities, crossbowmen aren't going to be that much better. Yes, they are stronger, but they really need upgrades in order to be relevant. If you get a couple promotions on the crossbowmen, then they can take cities. But what you really need is siege. But the weird thing is, there's this massive gap between catapults and bombards, which is way up here, like late Renaissance era compared to classical era. So there's an entire era where you don't have a siege unit. Catapults become obsolete. They have 23 melee strength, which means they're going to be one shot by cities that are in the medieval era. So basically, hopefully they're not totally one shot. They're like 2 shot, or they take 75 damage in 1 shot from a city. So either you have this weird gap where you can't efficiently take cities, and it's kind of frustrating. You don't have a good siege option, is what I should say. So the fact is, it's hard to conquer cities during this gap between around this era, late medieval, because you are in early Renaissance, because you don't have bombards yet, and your catapults are garbage at that point. And so yeah, we'll have to balance out. I think I would like to attack Germany when this declaration of friendship expires, but I'll see when that actually happens. And I'll have to make a decision based on how powerful my Immortals are, or potential crossbowmen replacements are, as to whether or not it's actually, feasible. So this is a bit frustrating. I can't surround the city because they put these damn missionaries here. I really hope he fails to convert the city. The reason being, the Iron Lamb's level 3, baby. Because I want Confucianism to survive so I can spread it throughout my own cities, as I described earlier. Nope, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to, I said something else too. I want maybe 1 or 2 more Immortals, because I'm a little worried about a knight popping out or a crossbowman, and I don't think they'll really be able to stop my army. But I just want complete and utter domination here. I don't want to take any chances, and it's only 2 turns for Immortals, so I'm going to keep them going. At least until I have crossbowman tech, and then I'll probably stop building Immortals. And what I said I would do, and what I still intend to do actually, is what I should have done much earlier was build a battering ram, because I was very curious if the battering ram affected Immortals. My guess is that they don't, because I'm pretty sure the way the battering rams work, if you don't know, it says normally melee units are, and any non-siege unit is bad at attacking walls. But what battering rams do is that allows melee units to do full damage to the walls, so they don't have penalties for attacking walled cities the way they normally do. And since Immortals are technically melee class units, I wasn't sure if the battering ram affects Immortals. But my guess is that it doesn't. That would be awesome if it does. But the fact of the matter is, I'm pretty sure it's calculated based on the type of attack, not so much the class of the unit. So yes, it's a melee class unit, but it's attacking with ranged attack. And obviously, like, in terms of real life logic, a battering ram doesn't help an archer. But I'm not sure how the game logic applies there. So I guess I will find out later rather than sooner, which is not what I meant to do, but it is what it is. So I'll find out sooner or later.